What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel for kind of a long time gone, but hey, we're here now. We're recording some videos, and yeah, I got a cool update for you guys. So I have nothing here, if you haven't been able to tell. Our freaking driveway is completely empty other than the Spider-Man Spec 1 series that we have over here. It'll be done one day. It's just my daily, but this is our project today. We have clear taillight lenses for my E30. I want to make a little bit of a video installing clear taillights on my E30, and first thing that I have to do is build them. So these are my old taillight lenses, and basically the way this is going to work is that we're going to have to destroy this lens here in order to crack it all off the edges and completely break it down so that there is no lens on this body here. Then we're going to go ahead and perfectly line this up. I'm going to have to definitely make sure that this is all the exact same size as this, because I did purchase these online. You can just get them on eBay, and I don't know if it's cut perfectly. It looks pretty damn good, but you never know. So we're gonna have to check all that out, and I'm gonna go over the whole process here. Haven't laid out all the tools, but I guess we can kind of go over what you're gonna need. I remember when I did it with my E28, I really only used like a hammer. I used a hammer and I broke this thing along, and then I went and used some pliers and stuff, and I cracked it along the outside. And then basically you get some silicone, you line the outside with silicone, you line the new lens up, and you put it on. It's pretty straightforward. One of the other things that you might want to do while messing with your taillights is replacing these gaskets. I have new ones, so I'm not really worried about breaking this as it comes off, but as you can see, these old gaskets are, mucky. As you can see, a lot of dirt gets back there and stuff. Okay, so that can't be broken. That's another step we have to remember, that this light in particular, when you break this, I can't go too deep or else I'm breaking something else. Yeah, like I said, I used a hammer for my E28 ones, but for this, I've seen somebody drilling in each of these sections because I think it's sealed here as well as around there. But we're gonna kind of go at this and see how it all goes. So I'm gonna get a drill, gonna get everything set up so that I can kind of pop a hole in these and maybe break it from there. Let's get it. Shout out Vintage Bimmer, by the way. You know the deal. You like the M mat? I don't even know why I have that. Oh, and big shout out Pelican Parts. If you need some parts, go to Pelican Parts. Woo! Not paid. I wasn't paid to say any of that. All right, so I got all the things set up that I think I'm gonna be needing for this job. Unfortunately, I was very, very wrong, and there were a few more items that I also needed to complete this process. And they are as follows. Some blue masking tape, a Dremel, chrome paint, any kind will do, Scotch-Brite cleaning pads, some Q-tips, and some JB Weld clear weld. I used a minute weld when I put mine together, and I do not recommend it. You should definitely use a 5-minute version. When putting the taillight together, you do not have enough time. Also, you're going to need some rubbing alcohol, and lastly, you're going to need a heat gun. The heat gun is very important for heating up the taillight lenses to get them to mold to the exact shape of your old taillights. If you need anything else, I don't know, write it down in the comments if you think there's anything that I could have done better. Other than that, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy. So we got some pliers here for breaking off a lot of the plastics. We got a hammer just in case I'm gonna have to break any of this initially. Got ourselves a drill and a 3/8 bit. I think this is 3/8, 3/4, I don't know. Whatever, a decently sized bit to get some holes to maybe start off. I might need a 1/2 inch though, now that I'm thinking about it. And lastly, got ourselves a caulking gun with, I used some Permatex clear adhesive sealant. You can get this at AutoZone. A lot of the stuff you can just get on Amazon as well. And lastly, like I said, you have the lens that I got off eBay. I'll try to link this stuff below if I can. The clear weld here is very, very important. I initially thought that I was going to seal the taillights with simply the silicone like I did with my E28 ones, but because it is a way bigger lens and a lot more contact points, I needed to first use the clear weld and after seal it with silicone. You will see in the video. Thanks. Yeah, so I'm gonna start going at this. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Shoot, I'm a little nervous, but I'm gonna just try to start over here with this reverse light. See what happens if we just... Oh, that scared the shit out. I think I poked the inside a little bit there. Okay, so you have to put minimal pressure on this. I'm sure that gets hot really fast. And yeah, I might be going an extra step further. So there's a reflecting surface that goes right behind these lenses here. When the light shines, it reflects the light and it comes right back out. And essentially, some of that over time gets messed up. Or if you're a little doofus like me and you go a little too far and you poke it in there, you scratch it a little bit, you can go ahead and repaint that. So when I take all this off, I think one of my extra steps is going to be going ahead, masking it, and repainting some of those surfaces. So we'll see how it goes. But for now, I'm going to continue taking this stuff out. one nice big piece. So the inside of this one had kind of a wall built up. See, I had that line in there. That line would perfectly sit against this. So I feel like it might not sit the same. Or I have to fill that all with silicone or something. We'll see, we'll see. So a lot of the times the way you break this kind of stuff, when you grab it with your pliers or your channel locks or however you're doing it, you kind of give it like a little bit of like a bend like that to get the pieces to come off. Don't really rip it super hard or anything. It doesn't really help much, but just a gentle kind of a, I don't know, change of direction, the thing will just break. I haven't been able to find really any sources of somebody doing an early model taillight of this online. Any videos, I'm sure there's a forum out there, I'm sure there's something, but I wasn't able to find it very easily. So I don't really have a lot of info on how exactly people get this done. Like I said, I just did it on my E28, and I've watched a video of somebody doing it on late model taillights. I can link that below, as it was a really good video if you do have late model taillights. I just hit this one with a hammer, and it's kind of more fun doing it with the hammer than it is with the drill. If you just be nice and delicate with a more heavy hammer and just kind of bounce it off, and knock your paint over. Eventually you'll get like a nice crack, and the parts come out in kind of a bigger chunk. You can use those same kind of channel locks and get those big pieces. On this in-between spot, or I guess this would go here, yeah. It has this, shoot, if you can tell, this little bridge that comes down. My new light doesn't have that little bridge, so I think that will have to be made with silicone. We're definitely gonna have to see how that will work. Oh, yeah, also, wear some eye protection. Yeah, please. Is that better? There we go. I didn't have it a little bit ago, but don't worry about it. Just add that to the beginning of the video. Woo! That one's a little dangerous because you got that thing behind it. See what I mean? You got that guy right there, right behind it. So that's why I didn't want to use the drill, because I feel like I'm a little more delicate with the hammer, as I messed it up with it. No way. So I went ahead and removed as much of this plastic as I could with just pliers. The other tool that I realized I didn't mention is my Dremel. I haven't really had to use it yet because I remember having to use it when I did my E28 lights, but as of right now, have not need to use a Dremel. This is literally all pliers. As you can see, there's a place here where it looks like water has leaked in, and the place over here where I knocked the shit with my drill. So that's why I have this chrome paint. I'm going to be able to tape all this off, and I'm going to repaint the inside of these so that they look a little bit more like this, and they'll reflect light better, so that the lights will be nice and bright. I wanted to just jump right in the middle and say, if you want these things to look perfect, you're going to need a Dremel. I didn't mention that at the beginning of the video because I did not know that I was going to need to Dremel these how I did, but I ended up cutting down the lenses a lot. So a Dremel is very, very necessary. Also a heat gun. I think I mentioned that. All right, so as you can see, the OEM taillight does hang over the edge a little bit, so I think it'll be okay. Okay. Rubbing alcohol to clean. Okay, Q-tips plus alcohol to clean in all the spots. Back in it, and I have perfectly masked off my light. And I also went in and got myself some Scotch-Brite. Went in there and scuffed up all the surfaces so that that is all ready to be painted. Also masked up the back just a little bit, just in case any overspray or anything gets down there. I'm gonna leave it in this box because it's a little bit windy out today, but I should just be able to spray it right in there, keep a nice little distance, and make sure it's all good. So I'm gonna try to send that right now. I still have the other light to do, so this one has kind of been my whole trial procedure, and hopefully it's been a good process to watch. So I did use my Dremel to clean it up a little bit along those seams, but I'm gonna try to make everything that I can chrome, and we'll see how it goes. Obviously blocked off my red bit right there as well. Let me just do a little twist. Spin. Shout out Vintage Bimmer Part 2. I think I said that the last part of the video, but yeah, this is gonna look good when it's chrome, but not when it's painted with splotchy chrome from a bad can. So yeah, we'll get it going. BRB. All right, I made it back, and with some proper chrome paint, I got the Rust-Oleum paint. And this is our kind of end result. This is 2 coats about. I'm thinking that I might want to sand down that layer so that when I put the silicone on, it will have something to stick to. But I'm also really liking the way it looks that that's all chrome versus having the kind of brownish tinted color behind there before. Some people might not prefer this, but I'm thinking it's gonna look pretty sweet. The other thing that I'm now thinking about is a different colored bulb for the turn signal. My friend Ryan suggested that. And my instant idea was thinking about making that like a different color, reflective, but right now we're just gonna see how the chrome looks. Wait for this to dry a little bit, and I'm gonna put the glass on top just to see what it looks like. I said glass, it's plastic, not glass. All right, quickly on my Spider-Man hood before it gets dark. This is my now masked off for painting second light. I went ahead and I shattered everything, did a lot more breaking, a lot more messing, and here is the one that is drying. That is already been chromed. You can see that looks really nice. One more thing I want to note. Here are the clear lenses, real quick. That side tucks over on the back, just like so. Tucks over it. And you will have to line up flush to either side like that. And this space in the middle, I'm going to be talking about more about the gluing when I get there. But one thing that, see, this one hasn't been cut at all yet. You can see before I apply any pressure that there's still a little bit of a gap between where the thing's actually gonna sit, right? Luckily, this one fits a lot nicer than my other one fits, which makes me think that it is kind of dependent on the mold and how the thing went. But one thing that I have to do with the Dremel is I have to kind of cut in right here just to make sure that this will sit properly and not have a gap between this one. I went ahead and did this on the other lens, and the other thing that I did was I applied heat, and I put some weight on top, and I applied some heat, and it made the whole lens be able to sit a little bit more down. I'll definitely go into detail showing this when I go and glue them tomorrow, but for now, I went ahead with the Dremel, and I got in on all of these. As you can see, I'm still gonna go a little bit more on those spots where there's some red. Other than that, I basically only used pliers to take all of that red off, as you saw with the other ones, and I was just kind of taking the pliers and rocking the pieces back and forth until they broke off. And you got those clean lines there. So I'm excited how this is turning out. And we're gonna go ahead and spray this one and let it dry. And I'll check in with how it all looks tomorrow. What is up, YouTube? It is another day, another fantastic day. And unfortunately, my garage is still looking like this. One day, this will be like a beautiful shop, I swear. But we have this to look at. That one I already took out, and I'm not even gonna show you it, but check this out. Post painting, this is what we have. So we have some nice chrome on the inside. If you don't want to do chrome, or if you don't want to make the whole thing chrome like I did, you can always mask off different things. You can always choose different parts to where you want to repaint. If you specifically want to repaint only the inside of those where it was previously chrome, you can do that. I don't want any of that faded brown plastic. You know what the color is back here, see, like that color. I don't want any of that faded color showing up on the front of my lights. But I'm gonna take the masking tape off and basically get these ready for gluing on. One other thing that I didn't go over or didn't really film much of was my process of grinding these down and bending them a little bit. One thing that I used a heat gun right on this outside. I'd put it on and I'd bend that front bit just as much as I could, just push it right to the position it needs to be in and sit there for a while with the heat gun, and it went pretty well. It changed that corner just a little bit. They weren't bent as curved, they had a little bit more out. I also used a Dremel and took in some of these tiny little marks. So Pilo's trying to tell me to use some plastic weld instead of the clear RTV, and we might have to learn the hard way.
Because you could definitely use the plastic weld
corner and then add the RTV as the water seal.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna bail. I'm completely bailing out. I'm going to do the method that I mentioned halfway through. We might have to learn the hard way. So I'm gonna plastic weld it, and I'm gonna use this to seal it. Okay, bailing out, bailing out, bailing out. Filling some spots in with silicone that don't really matter. All right, about a week later, we are back in it. Holden is here. Hi, Holden. Wow, this is better quality than my camera was. We have our clear signals here, and this is gonna be our second attempt. So I bailed out on using all just clear adhesive sealant, and I went and got myself some plastic weld. This stuff takes 5 minutes to cure, which makes me a little scared, because that means I'm gonna have to go around, whatever, I should be able to do that just fine. And I also got one of these mixing tips, because I kind of wanted to just be able to lay a bead, but I've never used one of these before, so I don't know how easily the bead will be laid. Have you seen those before? Mm-mm. Do you trust it? So I'm gonna try a couple things, but my basic plan is to go around all the outside edge with the glue, stick it down, clamp it, and let that dry, and then afterwards I will come in with the clear and I will add it to the holes where I think I'll need to seal it from the elements. Some paint thinner and some towels, just in case.
Ignore the wind noise.
I have a clean micro. Ignore the wind noise.
I hate when people say that.
People say that in videos?
Yeah.
Don't mind the wind noise. Oh.
Ew.
Oh wait, I feel like that's one first. There's a little bit of me. Smooth operator. Kinda, oh, what? There's like a hole.
It's already dried over here.
Shut up.
Oh. I want to touch it. Smooth operator.
All that extra stuff I can fill in.
A little more over here.
I was afraid I can fill in the extra, you know, with
Oh well. You can see what you're doing.
it's okay. It's less about exactly what I'm doing and more about like process. Sick. Smooth operator. Does this work? Please punch it and they treat you pitch.
Yeah, like a. Well, like people say. I can't wait.
And the S55 is the best motor too.
Fuck yeah. I've been waiting to
Do
see
the other
car.
side.
And like,
Wipe it.
yeah, wipe it like. Actually, not as bad as I thought it would be.
Not,
Like not like weather. That's old.
All
That
that?
looks so sweet.
That actually worked really well.
Yeah, literally no one will be able to tell.
And I can just leave that goop on the outside.
Even with factory
I can always
ones
cut
aren't
it off
perfect.
too. Once that dries, I can cut it with a razor blade. No. All right, back in it with the YouTube. This is the next day, and this actually isn't the light that dried. This is a new one. But this is the light that was all completed. So here is our nice little reveal. Sorry, it's a little bit anticlimactic, but after letting that clear plastic weld seal, you can see that it worked really, really well. Filling in all those gaps and leaving no trace of that glue at all around the top and sides. So I'm super proud of how that turned out and how these edges look super clean. But the one thing that's gonna come next and gonna be the last part of sealing these lights up is going to be taking that clear plastic epoxy or silicone that we thought we were gonna use before and filling in like this crack right here. Wait, sorry. Filling in this down here, as well as filling in right back here where it is open, because I want these things to be perfectly waterproof. I don't want any water getting in there, leaking on the insides and ruining these. Clear epoxy was definitely the move. Clear plastic weld around that thin edge to really, really make a nice seal. And then after, going in with your silicone clear adhesive and filling in all those cracks where I think water could get in. So after many funny breaks in this little series of fixing up these taillights and making them all finished, we are at our final part. The taillights are both behind me, completely assembled, looking really, really good. So that seal on the outside is perfect and nothing is lifting at all. Afterwards, when I went in with that silicone on the outside, I ran it along this edge and then slid along with my finger, and it perfectly sealed it there as well. Finally, same thing along here with that epoxy. And the last bit now is this. So it doesn't look that good, right? And unfortunately, when these are on the car, you do see that next to the license plate if you're really paying attention. So my solution is gonna be to mask off everything else and paint up into that line right there. And paint that with the same chrome paint that we used for the inside. So as you can see right here, I'm just gonna tape up to about right there and paint it. I kind of regret not painting that beforehand on the inside, but either way, covering up just this whole side will make that kind of illusion that that isn't even there. And then you can trim this to your pleasing and you know, repeat the process around. So other than that, I really hope you guys enjoyed watching these get made, and I can't wait to show you guys them on the car. All right, paint time. Joe, you want to film with the phone? Woo, join the cam. Chrome paint, last step. I take these off to what I wanted, and I'm literally just gonna go right there on both of them. So yeah, see how this goes. There it goes. Easy chrome. Easy chrome number 1. Easy chromer number 2. First we give it the dust coat. Nice and dusty. You know the vibes. Oh my god, they call him the Dust Master. That's about it. So we'll let these dry. Got yourself some clear tails. I don't really know how else to finish this other than showing them on the car. So hopefully we're gonna have this rear end wrapped. We're gonna be able to put these on the car, show it off, and yeah, hopefully it's a good tutorial on how to make these lights because nobody really has a good one for the early model E30. Yeah, you can do them all sorts of colors. You could dye them, you could make them pink, you can make them purple, you can make them green, make them black. That's really doesn't have this. Okay, yeah, this wrap is getting changed, but thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed watching building these taillights, let me know please, because yeah, I don't know, I could maybe build some more. If you want me to build them for you, let me know, because I could probably do that. Down in the description. Oh. Yeah, oh, actually, yeah, I'm gonna have the links for all of the parts that I used down in the description. It's really just the lens from eBay, but other than that, yeah, I think this turned out pretty good. The car, don't ignore the car wrap, but I think the lights turned out great. I ended up putting a colorful light bulb in there so my turn signals are blue. I regret it. It's illegal and it's not good, but shout out Jimmy for rapping. If you love Jimmy, comment down below, I love Jimmy. All right, peace guys.